Peace, family. We get back to the children. That's the future. The future is really in the children. And there's two things I want to say briefly before I get into this Leaders Are Readers challenge. Is as we do this work, it's not about you. It's not about if you're going to see this paradise or this new way of being that you're looking to create. You know, you have to embody it and live it. But if you're focused on the outside world showing up and it becoming a manifestation, then there's a chance you're going to stop doing it one day, because you're doing this for generations. You're doing this for the children can see something, so they can put something to the children, because where we are has been generational issues or curse, or whatever you want to call it. It took one family to go through a bunch of things, and then they went through some pain that they gave to their children, who went through more things they gave to their. So what we have to do is give love and happiness to our children, who in turn will give love and happiness to their children. That's how it works, but you know, it's not going to be like something you see in the next 40 years maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know all the answers, but I do know if your whole focus is on seeing, you know, the world change by you saying something and you go out and doing something, that's not realistic. It sounds kind of blunt, and maybe it's a Scorpio in me talking, but truthfully, I've watched, you know, my father and his, you know, in different generations, looking at the history, understanding where we are, where we come from. It's been quite a journey. So with that, I'm going to go into the Osho Book of Children. The book is pretty revolutionary, as anyone who read Osho knows. He's all about bringing out the rebel in you, and you becoming a rebellion upon yourself, which allows you to be an individual. So this book really talks about how do we keep freedom and intelligence into our children. I read once about education, so if you want to hear that one, you can find it. I'll repost it. So anyway, if you don't know about Osho, all of his books were transcribed. He would sit and talk, and then after he talked, they would compile his words into books. So this is a chapter, I'm not sure, it's page 90 in the Book of Children, and it's advice for parents. I am concerned about my 6-year-old daughter. She says she is happy, but I can feel she isn't. I feel I just can't make her happy. This applies to so much. Listen to this. You seem to be much concerned. Too much concern can be dangerous. The idea to make somebody happy never succeeds. It is against the laws of nature. When you want to make somebody happy, you make him or her unhappy, because happiness is not something that can be given by somebody else. At the most, you can create the situation where happiness may flower, may not flower. More cannot be done. It seems that you are too worried about making her happy, and because you fail, you become unhappy. And when you are unhappy, she will be unhappy. It is very easy to make somebody unhappy. Unhappiness is very infectious. It is like a disease. If you are unhappy, all those you are connected to, related to, particularly children, will become unhappy. Children are very sensitive, very fragile. You may not say that you are unhappy, but it doesn't make much difference. Children are very intuitive. They have not yet lost their intuition. They still have something deeper than the intellect, which feels things immediately. Intellect takes time. Intellect always wavers. It can never be certain. Even if you are unhappy, a person thinks about you. He can never be absolutely certain whether you are unhappy or you are just pretending. Maybe this is just your habit, or maybe your face is like that. Intellect can never come to a conclusion that is absolute. But intuition is absolute, unconditional. It simply says what is the case. Children are intuitive, and they are related in a very subtle, telepathic way. They don't look at how you look. They immediately feel. Sometimes it happens that the mother only feels something a little later on, but the child has felt it before the mother herself. The mother may be unhappy, but she is not yet aware. It is still coming to her consciousness from the unconsciousness. But from the unconscious to the child, there is a direct passage. To reach to your conscious, it will have to pass many layers of conditioning, many layers of experiences, intellect, this and that. It will have to pass many sensors. Those sensors will change the message, interpret it in different ways, color it, and by the time it reaches your conscious mind, it may be absolutely something different than what it was in reality. But a child has immediate access. Up to a certain age, the children remain much rooted in you, and they know what is happening. Just relax a little. Let her mix with other children. Let her play, and don't talk about happiness, unhappiness. Rather you be happy. Seeing you happy, she will feel happy. Happiness is not something that we have to seek directly. It is a byproduct. Children are very much puzzled when you ask, "Are you happy?" In fact, they don't know how to answer it. And my feeling is that they are right. When you ask a child, "Are you happy?" she simply shrugs her shoulders, because what do you mean? The child is happy only when he is not aware of it. Nobody can be happy when they are aware. Happiness is something very subtle that happens only when you are completely lost in something else. The child is playing and she is happy because the child does not know about herself at all in these moments. She is lost. Happiness exists only when you are lost. When you come back, happiness disappears. A dancer is happy when the dance is there and the dancer is lost. A singer is happy when the song is so overwhelming there is no singer. A painter is happy when he is painting. A child is happy when he is playing. Maybe a nonsense game, just collecting seashells on the seashore. Meaningless, but he is completely absorbed. Have you watched a child collecting seashells or collecting stones? Just watch the absorption. Just see how deeply involved, how utterly lost. And that is the quality of ecstasy, the quality of wonder, the quality of all religious experience. All children are religious and all children are happy, unless parents make them unhappy. But happiness is not to be sought directly. Do something else and happiness follows like a shadow. It is a coincidence, not a result. I'm sorry, it is a consequence. So, that is what it is, you know. That's what bliss is about. Sometimes we force happiness, and just by trying to force it, you can't pursue something that you already have. Think about that. See, most of us will go looking for something, but we already got what we're looking for, and it's a lifelong game that we play. And for those who are on a higher path, it's not to say it's better or worse. It's just a higher level of perception. That game gets old real quick. You chase a few things, you get them, you realize there was nothing there. And if we're not careful, we just continue giving that to our children, and then again we sit back and wonder why the world hasn't changed. And you know, we just watch it, and we do the best with ourselves, so that's the message we leave on to our children, do the best. But that's it. I'm not gonna be long-winded. Peace, fam.